Hello, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and I need a backup producer to make sure I push all the buttons in the right order. Thank you for waiting for us to get started. These amazing and wonderful people have agreed to join me to play something like Dungeons and Dragons in a module something like Storm King's Thunder, using a virtual tabletop exactly like Roll20, and character art made from Hero Forge. I think that's it for today. Let's get to the people and let's play because it's been a long time. So, let's start with the people. Let's start with Solar Dasher. Thank you for bringing us Beowulf, first of all. I look forward to it every single time we get to play. What have you been up to since the last time we played?
Well, it turns out that I was a lot sicker than I thought I was when we were playing last. So, I've been working on getting a lot better. I am better now, so I am here.
Yeah.
And looking to get that itch that is D&D taken care of. I love playing D&D.
We'll get to that in just 1 minute, because I know how bad it is to get an unscratched itch. Next, we have our newest addition to our team, the mighty and wondrous Ruth playing the mighty and wondrous Kane. It's been a while. Welcome back, first of all.
I'm happy to be back.
Oh, it's good to have you back. What have you been up to that you want to share? I'll put that caveat at the end, that you want to share.
So, literally just work other than hospital.
Oh, dear.
But
yes.
I'm doing better now, and I actually have a thing to announce this time.
Oh, yes.
I can actually talk about something. So my best friend has been since I think it was since grade 10, or at least as long as I've known them, they've been wanting to start up a theater company. And things are finally starting. Plans are being put into place, and they're trying to kickstart it, sort of. And they're planning a cabaret, which
nice.
I will be in. The date is to be announced, but it's going to be called Kingsley and Company, and yeah, hopefully I can give more details about what may be happening with it. I don't remember the exact details of the Instagram, but
that's okay. We got time, right?
Yeah.
But yes, by all means, please keep us up to date every week here, and please keep us updated over on the Discord, where we can all kind of keep track of each other's stuff. We do have a channel for everybody else's projects, because we want to get behind all of those too. So pop it over there as soon as you got some hard dates and times. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Next, the bison who's a long way from a prairie, because I know where he lives. And he's a long way from a prairie. Thank you for joining us. Have you been to Tiny Tony's Tinkerland or whatever?
No, I haven't. I've been playing it, but just not streaming. Mondays have been sort of a Jackbox thing for
nice.
Some of the Bravely Broken stuff, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
And Tuesdays I work now, so
that's okay.
So
you don't have to stream everything.
Exactly. Really I can enjoy the game on my own, and when I feel like streaming it, if that ever happens again, I'll fucking stream it. But yeah.
Exactly. And people don't, the nice thing about streaming video games is, if they want to listen to you swear, they can do that. They can just show up and listen to you get really, really angry. I've been playing Sniper Elite 5, and I play for a period of time and enjoy myself, and then I start to swear, and then I stop. Which is not stream friendly, but it's fun. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for bringing yet another in a line of long and lovable. Yeah, sure, long and lovable characters.
They've all been pretty tall so far.
And all been very lovable. In their own way. Yes, even Mr. Bones. Next. Sarah, yeah, from Happy Land. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making time. How was the production company going, and such?
Everything is kind of on hold at the moment, due to personal life stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully gonna get back on track on work and
Yeah. Well, again, keep us informed over on the Discord, and we will we will support as always. What else did you want to say?
We're still working on Bravely Broken, and that's kind of the big project that's taken over everything. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll let you make the world as simple as Idicus's brain in just a minute. So far, I hear 4 people that really, really need to play D&D tonight, 5 including me. I'm betting we can go 6 for 6. Scarred.
Probably.
Yeah. What are you up to? What are you doing? When can we start?
We can start in a few seconds. But yes, I am also working with Sarah on the Bravely Broken project, and Bison and Ruth. It's all so wonderful to have these people do wonderful, fantastic things with us. The personal reasons that have caused us to be on a little brief hiatus is all my fault because I got COVID. But you know, that's about all I need to go into.
How dare you?
I was being
Completely,
nice.
how dare you?
You know what I was just saying the other day? How in the hell did I give COVID over a video call? Because I had
Oh, I know exactly how I got mine. I went, I'll be sociable for the first time in years.
That'll teach you. Yes. Yes, antisocial behavior has benefits that they didn't tell you about when they sent you to therapy for it. I'm antisocial. Why would I go to therapy? Don't be stupid.
They'll just make you go to group. That's people.
Exactly. Here, go to a group of people. No, do you not understand? What part of this are you not capable of understanding?
Antisocial support.
We should play a game.
Nobody shows up. But still, I am jumping, we are jumping back onto the horse and getting things rolling again. It will, as much as I love to talk about Bravely Broken and how great we're doing things, it will take a while till we get to see really what we want to see out of it, because animation.
Drawing takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got like a third of it done.
And some of your people haven't done their lines yet.
Yeah, stop calling me out, Kevin.
I'm not part of this.
No idea what you're talking about.
I promise. I'm half done. I promise. Okay, let's play this game.
To get to the library.
Yes, so we're all terrible people. Anyways, let's start the game.
Streamer problems.
Yay.
That's what this is. Streamer problems. But yes, what 6 people that need to play D&D, and slightly more than that in chat, probably the same people who want to watch. So let's do this. Kane. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Last we saw you, there was dust on things. It's been so long, but the last we saw you was literally up to your knees in gold and platinum coins, surrounded by priceless works of art. Monsters to the left and the right. Friends to the left and the right. You took none of the treasure. You helped all of the friends. And then everything changed. Because then you saw over in the corner, in a little area with absolutely no other treasure, like it had pushed everything away from itself, in a little crater of gold. The bag. It's got to be the bag. It's 2 different colors of pale green. Each half a different color, stitched together with something that looks like dark purple thread, and closed at the top with that same purple thread and a wax seal. Your world just goes. What do you do? Yeah.
I walk up to the bag. This is
This is
what
it.
I have been looking for.
This is it. It's just
This
thrumming.
is what brought me to meet this group of people, and this is what I came here for. I'm going to grab the bag.
So you crunch through that golden room, paying attention to none of it. You bend down and touch the bag. A memory hits hard. It's not from the bag, it's from you, but the bag has triggered it. Here's the first time I'm going to throw you under the bus. What is it? What's that memory? There's no wrong answer, just tell me what happens.
It's a voice that makes her body quiver a little and puts her a bit on edge, if that is possible for her. Telling her to call her mother, and it doesn't feel right.
And you shudder. And when you open your eyes, you're home. What does that look like?
It's dull, and color is pretty much absent. It's damp and cold, and it looks like nothing, even though it is populated. And there are things here.
Yes, and you know how to see
It's
them. Sorry.
very drab.
Yes, but you know how to see the infinite shades of gray. You see the threats coming. They see that you know that they're a threat, but you're much more of a threat than they are. Whatever negative emotions you might have about being here, this is home. And you are, in this environment, an alpha predator. There is only one that you fear. And you can smell her. What's the first thing she says to you? Before you even turn.
I'd assume she'd greet her like Kane hasn't her mind hasn't changed.
So
The statement is likely hello, my dear, welcome home, or something of the sort.
and it's got that tone to it where it sounds sweet and it sounds pleasant, but it really, really isn't. The difference is it doesn't make you cower now. You wait for the fear to hit. You wait for the terror that comes with that voice to hit, and it doesn't. You were just in a cave with a freaking dragon. And you have the answer. You don't know how to use it yet, but you have the answer right here. So there, as you turn, there is no fear. In the infinite grays, an infinitely gray shape separates. Where are my shoes? Why haven't you washed my dress? My pretty dress. My dear, welcome home. Would you like some tea?
I'm fine. And there's not a single pretty thing about you, Helga.
What?
However, it's good to see you.
Let's back up a sentence. How dare you speak to me like that, my dear? How about that tea?
I said I'm fine.
Then why are you here?
For a brief visit. And attempting to keep it out of Helga's sights, or discreetly untying the bag and unsealing the bag.
You slip your hand in and touch the bag, and as you're taking it out, something about that that's creepy. I just did it with a leather chair, and that's what gave me the idea. As you touch the bag, something about it reminds you of skin. I mean, it's a leather bag, but it's a different kind of skin. It's not deer or antelope or anything like that. And you look up and see her face, a shade, even in the infinite gray, of a pale green. As you take the bag out and glance down at it without her seeing it, you see that here the colors have changed. It's not two colors of that green that it was there. It's two colors of very pale green. And they're a matching set. They're three similar colors. Give me a religion check. Or nature, or survival. I'll give you any one of those three, whichever one's best.
Survival is pretty
That makes
good.
perfect sense, because this is where you're back in the fell. So yeah, it's your home. Give us a survival roll. What did you roll? Oh, here it goes. Oh.
Bam!
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing. There's no fear. You remember why you don't feel fear. Though the emotions aren't here anymore. They were here when you were here, but once you left, they were gone. So by taking away your fear, she made you stronger. But she is, as you have called her all these years, a hag. And the thing with hags is they travel in threes. And you look down at the bag again. One sister, two sisters, three sisters. This bag is made out of the skin of the other two members of her coven. You got a 28. She killed them and usurped their power. She is a coven of one with the powers of three. That's why she was so able to dominate you before. But you have her sisters in the palm of your hand. What do you do?
So
Ask all the questions you want.
the item.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What does it look like? And do I have a sense of how I can use it and what it will do?
Absolutely. I'll give you as good a description as I can. You know a clamshell handbag? Like they're kind of half round and sort of flat at the bottom? Ish. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do it with my hands. Take two pieces of cloth like that, sew them together at the bottom, bring them together like that at the top, and make basically that pattern. That is a clamshell, except without the metally bit at the top. Instead, just tied shut at the top, but it looks like that. Each half is tanned hag skin. So it's her two sisters. What you 28. I'm just going to give you all of it. The stitching, that purple stitching, is veins from both of the sisters. One of them stitching the two halves together, the other tying the top of it shut with the wax seal. That ever so fragile wax seal. What do you do?
I'm going to undo the bag in my pocket and reach in for what is in it.
The wax seal snaps under your fingers. There's a release. It's not magic. It's more like potential. It's like standing in an electrical field. Like something's happening, but it hasn't here yet. And you untie, in the dark, with your fingers, untie this knot. And open the bag and reach in. As the seal breaks, she shudders. And tries to hide it. When you untie the string, yeah? Go ahead, you look like you wanted to say something.
As Kane sees her shudder, Are you all right? Do you need to sit down?
Mister, of course, dear, yes, I'm perfectly fine, dear. What? Don't help me unless I tell you to.
I'm not
I'm
helping.
I'm going to have some tea. And she tries to turn away but can't break eye contact with you.
She looks her emotionless
Yep.
in the eyes. There's nothing.
The string is under your fingertips in your pocket. One knot.
Gonna undo it
You open
and
it.
reach in.
You reach inside. Just 2 fingers. That's all you can get in. But that's okay because all it is a piece of paper. A folded piece of paper. You pull it out and it's in your pocket. But because of pen and ink, it doesn't obviously exist. It's a quill pen, so you can feel the roughness on this parchment. It's got words written on it, and again, a much smaller wax seal. What do you do?
Another seal.
Oh, pardon me. One more thing to add. As you untied that knot and opened the bag, she actually reaches to one side and puts her hand on what becomes solid. Part of the fell becomes solid to support her, to keep her from falling. And she almost drops to her knees. And you can feel around you. I said you're the apex predator, but you're not the only predator around here. And they're starting to swirl in the gray. They know something's up. They know somebody's about to die. In our world, this would be the vultures are starting to circle. She looks rocked.
I will run my nail along the wax seal to unseal it.
As your nail touches the edge of the seal, your own voice says to you, "Read me later."
She's gonna take it out of the bag and just set it in her pocket.
So it's completely separate from the bag. As you remove it from the bag starts to shrivel. You can feel it. It's kind of creepy. I imagined it would be for me if I had my hands in my pocket and the leather bag just started to desiccate. It's like 100 years is catching up to this leather all at once. And looking in front of you, it's happening to her too. Hags can live hundreds of years, and you're watching it happen in seconds. First, she loses the power of her oldest sister as she fades, and gone. Part of the bag falls apart in your pocket. Then the second sister, the one that really held them together, gone in your pocket. Nothing left but the mad remains in front of you.
She's gonna take the bag out of her pocket, like the
remains, yeah.
remnants of
Yeah.
the bag. Hold it up in her hand and crush it. Just squeeze as tightly as she can.
And it is as though your hand crushes that mother, that savior. Everything that hag represented dies in that moment. And as the remains of the bag and the remains of the hag fall to pieces in this Shadowfell, the predators fall back. Because there's a new queen in town. And they're going to give you room to maneuver and find your place. They're going to take their time and find out how big your territory is. Because by the rules of this world, you just took over. Do you look at the piece of paper? Without opening it, you take it out. There's a writing on the outside of it. It's folded in like 16ths, so there's no way you can find anything that's any writing on it except on the outside. And it says, hello, and it's in your writing. It says, hello, here are your emotions. I thought I'd seal them so you could open them when you thought it was right. There's one more thing in your pocket. You watch that last bit right in front of you, like the ink on the paper, and you feel a weight in your pocket.
And she's gonna reach in and grab whatever's in her pocket.
It's a tiny little stone U. A perfectly rendered sculpture about that big. Every pore, every detail, every strand of hair, your posture, your stance, everything about you at your most powerful and strongest is represented in this statue. And in the grayness beside you, a tiny gray throne forms at exactly the same scale.
The same scale to the figure?
To the figure.
She's gonna put the little figure on the throne and say, checkmate.
It sits in the throne, a shimmer of light, and your voice says, this portion of you can rule here. It will be some time before anyone tries to intervene. I believe, and it's your voice, but there's emotion in it. I believe you've got some people to help. Unfold one flap of that paper, and your own voice teasingly says, if you dare. Knowing that that's a trigger for you, because it's you.
She's
You're emotionless at the
gonna-
moment, yeah, so yeah.
she's gonna open it.
And you look down and one flap has come loose, and you can just peel almost like a Post-it note, and you peel it off, and it says on it, compassion. And underneath it the words form, but you already knew that. And it soaks into your hand. You have the power with a thought. You're a queen. You can do what you want. Do your friends, if that's what they were, count? Or do you stay here?
With the stone cane on the throne, she's gonna look to the figure in the throne and say, "Take care of things for me. I have people I need to get back to."
And the little version of you gives you a little salute, kind of looks over your shoulder, sticks up a finger, and your magic, you watch it, you know it. You spent so long channeling this power, you know it. It's yours. Flashes over your shoulder and hits something. And you turn and look, and you've been away a long time. One of them damn near snuck up on you. But you saved yourself. And you turn and there's a door. A door back to you don't know where. I mean, you know what world, but you don't know where in it.
She's gonna give the nod to Kane Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but I'll be back. And she opens the door.
And you open the door and step through. The last thing you get from the last sort of reflection of yourself to yourself in that infinite series of mirrors conversation that's happening while you're there, the last thing is, you know time doesn't work the same here. Take all you need. I've got this. And you hear another zort of your own magic. And you realize the one that's in there, the cane that's left in there, has opened more pages than you have. You put the book back in your pocket and step through the wall. Step through the door. Back into...
It's a book now?
It's kind of like a stack of Post-it notes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you can only take off a page when it lets you. So it's your emotions and your...
I thought it was one of those...
I thought of that too, but yeah, I started off with just a folded piece of paper and the wax seal, so I had to go from there. So you slide that into your pocket and step through. The rest of you are trudging. You're walking, right? If I remember correctly, you're walking to...
I think we've scuttled the boat at this point.
Yeah. The big boat I know is the boat of 16 also went down, right? And you had a discussion on whether to go to Luskan first or immediately to go to Morgur's Mound. Was that correct?
Yeah,
we decided we were going to go to Luskan briefly.
Yeah, because Beowulf needed supplies and
right.
So did
stuff.
Zulthus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zulthus made a list. A very small list, but a list.
All right. Let's go shopping at a pirate town. All right. The four of you are making your way westward towards Luskan, having had this conversation and sort of recommitted to the cause that you need to do something at least. As you make your way westward, another night is descending. You're about 1 day from Luskan now. When you get close to most cities, like, traffic builds up and you get more and more traffic as you get closer. Pretty much exactly the opposite is happening here. The closer you get to Luskan, the less traffic there is. What you see is groups of 3 to 7 people, mostly male, mostly rough-looking, mostly toughs, riding on beat-up horses if they're not walking. They kind of give you a look and decide not to and keep going, don't engage. But the closer you get, the more of this there is. You are going to have to camp one more night before you head into town. There's lots of places to do. There's a very developed area. There's every sort of couple miles there's a pull-off on the side of the road. But feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves. But please, hang on, time out. Holy shit, Ruth. Thank you. Wow. I threw a lot of pressure on you in that scene, and you absolutely
what are you thanking me for?
nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. That showed me that you are so far inside of Kane that you didn't have to think. When I asked you questions, you just answered. You knew. And that to me is, to come to my game with a character you care that much about, thank you. And the real thank you is for that scene. That was amazing. Appreciate the hell out of that. Whew, I do. I'm shivering. This is what I do this for. Scenes like that. Thank you. Okay, the other four of you.
So Zulfis, after we find a nice spot off the road to camp, sets up a few tents for people. One with a very nice looking door on it. Potentially. Just
No, I
putting
got
it
it.
out
Oh, I
there.
just got it.
That's okay. I got a re-entry planned already.
Okay, then never mind. Just puts up some basic tents.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. I appreciate the here, Dungeon Master. Here, thank you. I appreciate it, but I already had a plan.
Definitely a softball.
What did you call it?
Sets everything up.
Go.
Sets everything up. Essentially gets dinner started. Because while they were hoping that Beowulf will have gone hunting for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Hoping.
Yeah.
Not trying to tell Beowulf what to do, just...
No.
It's kind of his shtick.
Well, I mean,
camp, he goes hunting.
Yeah.
I kind of thought you would have anyway, because the more sort of you embrace your wolfiness, the probably as soon as he starts cooking food, you're like, oh, you're ruining it. I'm just gonna go get a rabbit. Yeah.
Oh no, there's some half-seared steaks.
Yeah.
Some fully cooked food.
Ooh, excuse me.
Some nuts and bolts, and then just a big bucket of blood.
Basically, Beowulf will probably be keeping his eye out for anything as they're walking, and just go off and if he does see something out of the corner of his eye, he'll go off and grab it and then just come back to the group.
Yep.
And that's why they would have everything already set when they started getting settled for the night.
Perfect.
Yep.
Give me a survival check while you're on one of these darts. I want to see if you see something.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, while Beowulf is checking about survival, roughly how long was Kane gone?
You have no idea. The only thing you do know is, as your double told you, time works differently in the Shadowfell. So you have no idea how long. You were only there, what seems to you, just a couple minutes. Turns out you've been gone about 4 days, but never mind. Player-wise, 4 days in this world. About 4 minutes in that one. Okay. Beowulf, 18. You get advantage. You burst into the trees and grab something, some little fuzzy thing, and quickly snap it and start bringing it back out, prepared for food. And you see, sort of in the ditch beside the road, a little leather. It looks like leather at first, but then you realize it isn't. It's just a cloth bag. But it's like 6 or 7 feet long, and it's a bundle about this big.
He's definitely gonna go and check it out.
Just kind of go over and poke it. It doesn't take about half a second to figure it out. It's a pile of spears that someone has hidden here. It's like 15 spears all bundled together, hidden in the ditch.
Now, why would somebody hide this here? Weird. Is he able to pick the bundle up?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. He will pick it up and bring it back to the camp with him along with the food.
Okay. No need to make a dexterity save. It wasn't trapped.
Yeah, he just did it without thinking.
Yeah, just yoink and lift it up.
He keeps forgetting that there's traps out there.
Yeah, and you come back up onto the road with a rabbit and a big stack of spears.
Well, I found some stuff that we can barter with. He drops the spears down and then hands the rabbit to Zulfis.
Wonderful. Thanks for the spears, and thanks for this, and just wrings it like a cloth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just
And
into the blood bucket.
Prepares rabbit. Yes, Zulta style. How can you tell
Look,
the
it's
Zulta
pulled
style?
rabbit.
It's twisted.
Yeah, I don't
Technically,
think
it's pulled rabbit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold pressed rabbit in this case, but yeah.
yeah, Beowulf has kind of grown used to how Zoltis is working,
Yeah.
so he just nods it off.
It's
and
all
like,
good.
Let
Yeah.
me know when it's done.
20 minutes.
Okay.
Bickford. You guys have come to the end of another long day of walking. You were the one that had the sort of attack of conscience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bickford's kind of still a little bit reeling from that.
Yeah.
You know, seeing your friend die in a dream is usually way more graphic than, you know,
Yeah.
and especially with all the shit that Bickford's seen. Coming back to Luskin's kind of interesting. He hasn't been back in a while, about 20 years.
Yeah.
And but it's always been a place of work for him.
Yes.
So he's got like old stories brewing in his head, wondering if the One-Eyed Jacks is still open, you know, stuff like that.
Yep. So there's a whole level of trepidation as you're heading inwards. I just wrote down. I've been writing puns for like 2 weeks, and I just wrote down for Bickford. I got a new god now, and he's a lot like you. Because he got Pelor and Gruels.
Yeah, and
Grunthus, yeah. Whatever his name is, I don't remember. But anyway,
he's my god.
he's
not
your
yours.
god.
I
You
don't
remember,
expect you to
damn it.
remember.
You notice I also very carefully didn't use the hag's name in Kane's story because I forgot to look it up before we went live tonight. So I remembered the backstories. I just didn't remember the names. But that's Bickford. Which leads us to Idicus. Has Idicus ever been to Luskan?
No.
No? Okay. What does Idicus think
My day was called Skunk Puddle.
Because people said the words pirates when they were talking about Luskan. What does Idicus think when they hear the word pirates?
He's thinking humans and a lot of them. So he is finding a tree closest to camp,
Yeah?
climbing up, and basically he's just sitting up there with his like arrow out. Nope.
Okay. Wait and just like bad place. Yeah, bad. Don't want to go. All right. So the four of you settle down. Dinner is served for those that eat and drink, as the case may be.
For Bickford, there's a lovely fondue set that was put together. Because Zulthis remembers a little bit about Groncool from when he was godly.
Yeah.
So, you know, cheeses.
Melted cheeses. And melted by the power of sunlight, because you got to get Pelor in there too.
Yeah.
So
Oh god, so they're sweaty.
yeah, sweaty cheeses. No, that's a different show. That's I'll plug that at the end. But the four of you set in for an evening, and I promise Kane will get back to you soon, but not right away. The four of you settle in for the evening. I know a number of you don't have to sleep. Who stays up all night? Yeah, and the other two just crash.
Yeah, Bickford doesn't sleep much, but he does get his 8 hours.
Yeah,
in.
you get your
The
rest at least. Yeah, and
Yeah.
same with
And then
Beowulf.
Beowulf's gonna do his little curl into a ball and sleep.
Yeah, walk around in circles 27 times and sniff the ground and make sure it's the right spot. Yeah.
Yeah, get all that comfiness.
Then realize they
At
have to
some point-
pee, go outside, pee, come back, do it again.
At some point, Zulthis will check on Idicus in the
Yeah.
tree.
So how does that
We'll
go?
just
Do
hand
you,
him-
you just because you
Hand him a
can,
little tiny baggie of nuts and bolts.
because you can walk up the tree, right? So you just kind of walk over
Yeah.
and walk up the tree and then walk out on the branch, and Idicus is sitting
Yeah.
there. You said with your arrow out, like bow and arrow, or just an arrow?
Yeah, bow and arrow.
Just
Yeah.
They're honeycomb nuts.
He literally we'll just give it back to you. I don't eat.
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to do something for you. I don't know what to do.
Watch. Protect friends.
That's the plan. I'm just gonna do it on the ground, and you're doing it up here in the tree. I just thought you might like something to pass the time with.
He'll take them back, look at it, and then start throwing them at the tents.
Down the side of the tent. Because you're amazing at a distance, right? Just over and over. But it helps to pass the time.
If they ask, we'll blame it on the squirrels. And then Zulthus walks back down the tree. And
I don't know whether...
Also,
yeah.
Zulthus is doing no effort to disguise himself while he's been traveling to Luskan.
Yep. Okay. I don't know, would Idicus even realize that to throw these nuts at the tent you had to put down your bow and arrow? You're just throwing nuts at the tent?
Yep.
Perfect. Bow and arrow just sitting beside you in the tree, completely forgotten at this moment. Bickford, you spend all night dreaming of dripping water. All you hear is drip, drip, all night. You have to get up and pee like 6 times. It's ridiculous, and you don't know why. Beowulf, you're outside sleeping around a tree, I'm assuming, so that's not a problem. But so the two that stayed up, no, you're not. So all by yourself, Zulthus, you're the only one that's really paying attention. Give us a perception check.
All right. I don't know why I clicked all the way. I'm clicking too many things. I don't need to click nearly as many things as I just did. Perception. 18.
18. Excellent. That is a good perception roll. You see in the distance, like I said, it's only 1 day's walk away, but you can see the sun has gone down now. It is pitch black out here. Luskan is a city. It's not like a modern city where there's lights and everything, but from this distance, you shouldn't be able to see a glow, but you can. That's a big fire right where Luskan's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, they're immediately shooting fireballs off at each other, and the wizard tower's blocking them, and then setting fire to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just deal with it when we get there.
Yes. Oh, did we get there last time? That sounds like a very familiar story.
We didn't quite get there. We were.
You saw this, right? Okay.
We could see it.
Right.
We
okay.
could see the tower and everything.
Damn. Okay. Well, you apparently backed up for this, and then you're coming in again because, oops. Either way, you guys are camped.
Well, we had to dock the boats, and we're safe.
Yeah, you had to go somewhere for a minute. Yeah. Anyway, either way,
I've
I've seen bigger holes in movies that had like plots or stories written out. So let's just keep going. You see that part of Luskan, at least part of Luskan, is on fire.
Look, any decent magic shop and any decent shop worth half its salt will be fire resistant, so we'll be fine.
Okay. So morning comes, and the 4 of you pack up, start heading towards Luskan.
Blood is mixed with coffee.
Yeah. Bloffy? Yeah. Kafud? That's no better. Neither one of those are good.
It's just coffee with blood creamer.
It's kind of like a flat white.
Red velvet coffee?
What someone would, red velvet coffee. We'll call it that. That works perfectly.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. That's the thing now. And with that, as the sun rises behind you now to the east and you're looking at Luskan to the west, you can all see the smoke in the morning. You had seen the fireballs before bouncing off and that sort of thing, but that's not what this is. There's a whole section of Luskan burning. For those of you that have been there before, it's what used to be the nice part of town and then got taken over by the most powerful of the pirates and merc bosses and all those sorts of things. Bickford, that's the neighborhood you didn't get to go to because you had to talk to the guys that hired from those guys. Right, you were nowhere near that far up the food chain. But that whole part of town is on fire, all of it, not by accident, on purpose. Somebody's burning down the rich bits.
I'm thinking there's a whole lot of dwarven merchants that are pissed off right now.
There's a whole lot of everybody that's pissed off in that town right now.
It used to be a little village called Skunk Puddle.
It actually used to be a really big orc city called Illusk, but
I love it when my players know way more lore than I do. I just think, yeah.
I
It's
looked
like,
it up last week.
guess
and then
who's
we canceled the
describing
game.
this shit?
Oh, I just came up with a random name. Yours, I like Illusk.
Skunk Puddle. I like that too. Yeah, it sounds like a really bad place. The Skunk Puddle Lounge. Oh no.
Look, it was 10,000 years ago. It could have been both.
So yeah, Bigford's kind of like, well, that's usually a little shittier than what's normally on fire. Oh, okay. Looks to Beowulf. We might be able to get what you need. Just keep both hands on your purse strings. It's a city of villains and scum. But
That's why all of my stuff is kept in the chest.
I know occasionally one of his items comes up and goes back in.
Yo, Tony, I need the money.
Tony comes out. Please let me out. It smells terrible in here. So here's your money.
I'm kidding. There's no
Eventually,
way
he
to kill
sounds
me.
like the Tasmanian devil.
Oh, say, yeah, he does actually. He did. Now I have to spin around in circles. No, we'll do it in editing. No, we won't. We never do anything in editing.
I'm
Yeah.
horrible at editing.
The four of you get closer and closer. The wretched hive of villainy. Scum and Villainy was a different game. That was.
I
But
was in that one too.
yes, the four of you get closer and closer, and you see something you don't expect to see coming out of a port like Luskin. Refugees. These are some of the most badass looking refugees. Like whole mercenary groups are marching out of town. They're not on a mission, they're leaving. Heading up the roads, most of them heading down the high road south. A few of them seeing everybody go that way or going the other two major directions. Merchants, armies, like actual soldiers that should be staying in Luskin to protect it. The pirate soldiers that have taken over, nope, they're leaving too. Everybody's bailing. You see the battle is still going on. The fire is still coming out of the towers. The different electrical attacks and various other attacks are blasting away out into the ship in the harbor. This gigantic ship, this giant ship, which is shooting back. But while that's going on sort of over the top, underneath it is what can only be described as a civil war going on in Luskin. Various groups are fighting for power. What do the four of you do?
Bigford grabs the arm of a passing refugee before he's like, who's in charge right now?
Nobody. That's why we're leaving.
Oh shit. They didn't get Jarlaxle, did they?
Last count, everybody that had a rank above lieutenant is dead.
Bigford's eyes just widen.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh shit! What?
He lets go of the guy and lets him just fuck off.
Yeah.
Bigford's just, this city is basically lost.
Oh dear.
I
There
don't
was
know.
always someone looking to make money off both sides.
I don't know what we're going to be able to do, if anything, here, but
Well, let's see
the
what we can
tower seems like
scavenge.
the best guess.
Speaking of towers and speaking of profiteers, at the base of the tower, heading into town, there's a big gate tower on each side. And at the base of one of them is a cart. And instead of fleeing like the rest of the carts, this one's opening for business. He's taken down the awnings off the side. He's unhooking his donkey from it so it doesn't drag the cart away. He's polishing up his little bell that he rings every time he makes a sale. And he pulls the curtain aside to reveal weapons, potions, just all the accoutrements of war that you could possibly imagine. And he starts just hawking at the crowd. Get 'em while they're still here. Don't let 'em run you down like a peasant in the street. Come on, fight for yourself. You might not have any training, but without one of these, you've got no chance at all.
Bigfoot's like, there's always one.
I mean, I told you.
He hears you and said, there used to be two, but I killed them.
Killed him with
Yeah, that's
lightning.
not surprising.
Waving a sword around, he's clearly got no idea how to use it. Like, it's just flopping around. How can I help you?
Zulthis pulls out a laundry list, essentially, and just places it in front of him and goes, these are the medical supplies I need.
And if I could read, that'd be great.
Oh, you dick. Okay, I need pure grain alcohol, and he just starts listing through things: some gauze, some new needles, some extra stitch thread.
He keeps opening the same drawer over and over and taking stuff out and just putting it. And the drawer's only like this big, but everything you ask for, he just takes it out and puts it in front. It's like a clown car. He just.
Oh,
Not even gonna. I need an immovable rod to keep patients down.
How about a really heavy stick?
Good enough.
That he had. I just made it up. A stick of weightiness. Strength test 15 to move it. It's not an immovable rod, but it's really heavy.
Can we say 16 just to make it a...
Yeah, make it interesting. You guys
more
are getting
obtuse?
up there. Yeah, you're getting up there in levels too. So yeah, a stick of weightiness. When you turn it on, regular is just a normal stick, but when you activate it, it requires a strength 16 to move it.
Right, that'll keep some unruly patients from doing things.
Because I didn't want to give you an immovable rod, so I gave you almost an immovable rod.
Completely reasonable. I need, and counts out people, thinks, if Kane shows up again, we'll need. Okay, I need 5 cloaks of many fashions.
Cloaks of billowing?
No,
Dramatic entrance. Look, I got one.
Yeah.
He kind of concentrates for a second, and there's no wind at all, and suddenly he goes...
Yeah, I'm
dramatic.
sorry. It looked like you just had really bad flatulence. Yeah, sure. We'll take one of those. Why not?
Yep.
Also, bracers of defense.
Yeah, I got those, but those are expensive. What are you going to trade me for them?
We got these spears, and I've got this large moonstone. Just places down like a 2-pound moonstone in front of him.
Yeah, how do I say this? Stick those spears anywhere you like. Give me the rock.
Oh, rock's yours.
And he trades you. You hope you're writing down what you're getting, because I'm not.
I am ready.
Oh, good. You have to remind me what I gave you after. Send me a PM after we play.
Yeah, I've not asked for anything above the rarity. Cloak of many fashions is common.
Yep.
It just changes what you look like.
Yeah, so it's a cloak
It's
of
fun.
billowing, but it's not quite as useful. So
No.
he's a war profiteer. He's not, I almost say he's not Sears, but that's a joke nobody will get.
I get it. But,
I got it.
Bigford's looking for a +1 shield and a goggles of night vision, which he's going to give to Beowulf.
Okay.
that's smart.
I'll give you the goggles of night vision. What was the other
I'll
one?
take a regular shield.
A shield, +1 shield. Okay. He's got a shield. And it says on the inside of it, Magic Shield. But it says Magic Shield TM. Like, that's the brand name. So,
Yeah.
Does
you're
it
not
say
sure.
spelled with a J and a Y?
And even as he hands it to you, even he cracks. Right? It's a really... shit, I don't know.
Bigford's just like, I'll give you 25 for it.
25 what? People?
Gold.
Gold? You got gold? Holy shit, don't say that out loud. Jesus. So you accept me so bad. I talked about a deity from another entire multiverse. No, don't mention gold.
Don't worry about it. I've got coin. Whatever.
Okay, and yeah, you'll take 25 for that. Yep.
Because she has the wares if you have the coin.
Like, same rules. Write down what I'm giving you.
Yep.
Beowulf, you were looking for stuff too, right?
Cloak of protection for the little one.
In all honesty, I cannot remember what the bleep I was looking for.
Oh no. Okay, I have an answer.
I think mostly he was looking for reliable transportation, in other words, horses.
Yep.
For the group.
Yep.
And I think something to help his armor class, but.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I got this figured out because you kind of forgot. So I'm going to give you a rain check, basically. He looks at you and he says, "You look lost. You know what I got?" And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out this little, it's about this big, carved in, it's out of wood. And it says on the front, gift certificate. "I'm the first person ever that had these. You just take this with you, and when you decide what you want, you break this in half and say the thing that you want, and if I have it, I'll send it to you. I think
If you don't, I'll give you a substitute."
That's a really good idea if I was scamming people, but I like you guys.
We pay in gold.
Oh, that's lovely. Here, have another big rock.
Damn! And he just kind of hands the gift certificate to Beowulf. So yeah, you have a gift certificate for one magic item
Okay.
that you can figure out as you need it.
This is a very special rock as well.
Yeah.
It's called pumice. It floats.
Why would I want a rock that floats? That's kind of why you
Oh,
want
no,
rocks,
screw with
because they
people.
sink.
No, this one floats. So you
Oh,
can
it's a
hide things
con
under
rock.
the water.
I get it. It's a con rock. I can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I like you. And he
Yeah.
puts that in the box with the other stuff. Slap. It's the slap trap confined to the singing fish. You have to slap it, and it flaps up and down and sings horrible songs while chopping onions.
And the best way to use it really is like an underwater balloon. You just put a key on something, you put it in the water, and it floats and it stays. You just see this floating rock. You go, I don't know what I need from that. And there's a key underneath it.
Yes. Oh, Beowulf. Yeah, they're making the jokes for me in chat. On the back, they didn't mention it, but on the back of the gift certificate, it says expires in 30 days.
Okay.
With that, does anybody need anything else? Any of the four of you? No. Bickford,
Yes.
you flashed gold real close. Dropping out of the tower above you from 2 floors up, a slightly winged figure is dropping behind you. Well, give me all of you actually, give me a perception check or tell me what your passive perception is.
Passive 19.
Oh,
19. Yeah,
Passive
everybody
of
gets there.
18.
Not quite yet, Kane. We're getting to you, and I really mean it in just a minute.
Passive of 10, and I
Okay,
got an 11.
And you got an 11. You see nothing. Yep, Beowulf,
I have a
17.
passive 18.
Okay, and a passive of 18.
I like
so-
how my other one was a 1.
A 1, yeah. So, yeah, I should probably roll, but it's a plus many.
I'll roll as well if
Yeah.
none of us see it. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, none of you see
Holy
this damn thing.
shiz.
It just creeps out of a window and starts to crawl down a wall head first. And it's heading towards the gold.
There's no chance it's undead, is there?
No, it is not. Kane!
Nah.
Kane. You open the door and step out into a hallway in a castle. It's not a castle, like a gatehouse. It smells of people that have been on guard too long without a bath. It smells of bad food. It smells of human city. And off to one side you can hear a bunch of arguing and talking. And off to the other side there's a window, and just going over the ledge of that window you see a creature from the fell, a hunter, one of these beta predators. It somehow followed you back. And it's hunting. You can tell it. You can tell it is. And you see it from behind. You know what this one wants. This one wants gold. This one hunts gold. That's what this one is after. You have it completely at your mercy. What do you do?
can I see what it's going for?
You take a couple steps up and sort of look over. Actually, give me a stealth check. See, if you can sneak up on it, well, it's sneaking up on stuff. Your party, in other words. I just called your party stuff. That's rude.
Can I just, while Kane is doing this,
Yes.
be reading the instruction manuals for these bracers of defense?
Yes.
Attuning to them.
Yeah, yep. I gave you bracers of defense, right? Did I? Oh, wow. Look at you roll. Holy cow.
2 in a row now.
This is what happens when we don't let Idicus rolls. The crits go somewhere else. Yeah.
Criticane!
Criticane.
Here.
Or Cane.
Yay!
Yeah, Criticane.
Love it.
We're gonna end up with the deadly duo Canicus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's already happened.
But Kane, you just walk. I mean, it's a beta predator for a reason because you're the alpha. You just walk up behind this thing. If you wanted to, you could just reach out and just snap its neck. And you look over the edge. You're right behind it, looking over its shoulder, and you see these 4 standing below it, utterly unaware that they're about to be bombed.
You see, on one hand, I could reach for it, grab it, and scare it.
Yes, that would be one option.
On the other hand,
I like this. I also like on the other hand. Let's not do the obvious. What are we going to do? And yes, chat, slightly winged.
no, come back.
To get rid
That
of some of
was-
my rocks
It was
in my
a sugar
inventory.
glider reference is what that was. A really obscure sugar glider reference. So Kane.
Can the this dude is got to make a dex save.
Okay. What are you doing to him?
I'm gonna cast Immolation.
Oh, okay. Click the button. Click the spell so we can see it.
Ah, why did it roll?
That's okay. We can ignore rolls.
Is it gonna show up?
Hasn't yet.
You better.
You might have to click. There it is. Okay. Oh, but it didn't explain it.
Oh.
So tell us
Oh,
what it
that's
does.
why it does.
Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what is your?
Why is it doing it again? Stop! No, stop!
That's okay. Wow. Yeah, it's just going nuts. That's what. This is perfect, actually. What color? Remind me again. What color? Oh, your magic is sort of that grayish purple, right?
Oh, do I click cast on VVT
If it doesn't come up, you can
or display?
display on. Oh, display on VTT will show us the actual spell. I think. There it is. Perfect.
Cool.
8d6. Holy cow. So yeah, you're right there.
Tell me not to hold back.
Your fire. Oh, don't ever. Oh, I love this. Your fire is gray and purple, right? Oh, I'm getting the sun coming in here on
I'd
me, so-
assume that
What?
fire would be fire color.
It's entirely up to you. This is magic, and it's your magic. So, what color is your magic?
Depends what chemicals are in the flame.
I'm
Actually, here's
I'm
a
gonna
chance to
say-
reinvent yourself, really, because this is the first time you've cast any magic since you've come back with your emotions. So, what
Well,
color is
one
your
of them
magic?
technically right
Well, you got the
now.
rest of them. You just don't have access to them. But what color? I guess the real question is, what color is your magic now?
it's the same color,
Which was that purple.
which was like a mauve
yeah.
tone. I'm gonna say the flame is the natural color of flame,
Right.
but there's like a grayish sort of surrounding it.
Like
It sort of looks like
ash.
ash. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's your yes. So, you're right there. You're right over this thing, and for this particular moment, you are utterly immune to your own magic. and you breathe the fire of destruction on this creature. This creature could not stand against you in the Shadowfell in your home realm. There's no way it stands a chance here. It's just gone in a puff, just poof. And that as the fire fades, only the ash remains. And it's partly the ash that is part of your spell, and partly the ash of this creature. Gray ash from a gray creature. The other four of you here above you, and you look up into a gray snow, very slow falling like gray snow of ash. And poking out the window, you see Kane's face.
In a very wily coyote way, I'm just putting an umbrella up. Well, these clothes are nice.
Kane, after, just turns to Ash.
Yeah.
I guess you'll learn to stay away from my friends. And she grins a little bit.
And as you say that, that ash sucks back behind you through the door, back into the Shadowfell where it belongs. The door closes and disappears. The sun's coming in to hit me through my window. I should have closed my curtain. But with that, Kane, you can you're one floor up, so you can very easily get down to your group, which is good because at this point the city behind you starts to be rocked with explosions. The Wizard's Tower is now firing down into the city itself. The giant ship is peeling away, heading out to the ocean, but still continuing to bomb the Wizard's Tower. Not only the rich section of town is on fire now, but another section below it, sort of coming down the hill, coming down the social structure. There's going to be
That's the only time the trickle-down effect happens.
It does, yeah. Fire runs downhill. Runs uphill, too. It goes wherever the wind goes. But, anyway, for the purposes of this, it's working its way down the hill. Bickford, it's done. Like, you know enough of Luskan to know it was hardly being held together when there were powerful people in control. Mm-hmm. If they're even remotely close to right, if even the top 1% has been killed, never mind the top sort of 30 or 40% like the guy intimated to you,
yeah,
there is a power vacuum here that is just going to cause an implosion. To back that up, the five of you now together start to see your privateer is like, okay then, well that's enough for me, and he hits a button and it's just his whole little cart just snaps shut, closed. He puts a sign on the side that says out of business, too close to war, and calls his donkey, hooks it up and starts to leave.
Bickford waits for the guy to just sort of get out of eye shot.
Yeah.
And then he heads sort of into the shadow of the tower, just from the sunlight and all that.
Yeah.
Find a dark spot. He's going to pull out the Idol of Grand Cool, and he's going to look to see if any of his are in here.
Oh.
If Luskin's awash, fine. But if there are any bark swipes from Luskin, we have to get him out.
I have an idea. No. Not in the city. It's kind of like a compass at this distance, though. Like when you're close, if it was in Luskin, you'd see them on the map.
Yeah.
When you start to concentrate, there's none there, but the compass point keeps pulling you around, pulling you a different place on the map.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls you to Morgur's Mound. And on what looks like a poorly carved dragon, like they made a mound in the shape of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, there's these spikes. And hanging from the spikes by the wrists are 2 dead figures and 1 living one. The living one's got really long arms, and he's quite a bit bigger than the other two. It's one of your clan.
Bickford nods, sort of puts it away. Doesn't really know what the other four are doing, but when he makes his way back to them, he's like, well, we've got no reason to be here now. We need to get to the mound.
Iticus.
And this is just because I just remembered.
Yeah.
Horses. Beowulf was looking for horses.
Yes, you were. Okay, and yes.
And I was trying to think if Iticus would be like,
Iticus, you heard. You made this brilliant idea, so you're going to get the payoff. Iticus, you heard him ask for horses, but the nice man didn't get you the horses. He must have forgot. So you look around and hey, horses. There's a whole bunch of them over there. Nobody's looking.
He'll reach up to Bigfred and Goblin, just kind of say,
They look available. We could take those.
Bickford, it takes him a second to actually realize, hey, horses, because to him that's a civilized human thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we should get some horses.
It's easy enough. They're right there.
Yeah, Beowulf, you mind giving me a hand with these?
Not a problem.
Beowulf, I'm going to ask you for an animal handling check because you're a predator. You kind of smell like wolf, and horses generally don't like that. But just give me a... Try and offset. The 14's enough to offset that. They don't like you, but they will listen. So, if I've got this right...
Before we get on the horses, I do have a...
Yes.
A small thing I just kind of want... Because Zulthus originally is from the Shadowfell.
Yes.
So Zulthus is having this feeling of just apprehension. Just trying to figure out what it is, and looks over at Kane. Does he get that feeling of the predator is a predator as well in my midst? Zulthus, although changed from what he was.
What I will say is, you smell the Shadowfell. That's all I'm going to give you at this point.
Okay.
We can develop this over time, and this way it kind of also, from a kind of a story keeper point of view, this way also keeps the secrets with the person whose secrets they are to give away, and doesn't mean I give them away. So, so for now,
so
that's
all I can smell is the Shadowfell.
You smell the Shadowfell. Maybe it was that thing. Maybe it was maybe. But at this point, all you know is you smell the Shadowfell.
That's the question. There's just a...
And then...
If anyone can see, the bone reshapes a bit to a crazy-looking, cracked smile. That has no explanation of being there, just a... Smells like home.
And for the first time in a long time... Yep. Yeah. Don't be shy. This is your game, not mine. Go.
I'm still in the tower. Is there any... way I could get down without injuring myself?
Oh, easily. I had walked you down in my head already, so yeah, it's only one floor down and out the door. So you can be back with these guys in a couple seconds. In fact, for the first time for some of you, maybe ever, nobody's looking. Nobody's pointing. Nobody's judging. Nobody's grabbing their kids and pulling them away from you. They're too distracted with their own shit. And so, let me make this really clear. One of the oddest looking party of heroes that has ever trod this world rides away with no one paying attention to them. A 3-foot warforged on a giant horse, little feet sticking out sideways, reins in one hand, Fred in the other, backpack full of goodies on their back. A black swarming mass with a white bone face, the horse underneath writhing and cringing and trying to get away because it's just creepy. A bugbear so tall, his feet are almost dragging on the ground. The stirrups are by your knees.
You're slowly walking it like it's a bicycle.
Almost, yeah. You can reach out without straightening your arm. I mean, you got a 10-foot reach. You can, with your hands on the pommel of the saddle, you can reach up with a finger and scratch this horse on the back of the head, right? I mean, you're huge compared to it. A bipedal wolf on a horse is a story all its own. I mean, that's the cover of many a magazine right there. That's also pretty odd. And then a tiefling.
Not to mention that the horse is going to be pure black anyway.
It is, of course. And also another kind of uncomfortable horse because it's got a wolf on it. It can smell predator on its back. And the tiefling. Quietly, for the purposes of the video in my head, bringing up the rear. Thoughtfully, but still out of place. All of you out of place, none of you home. But all of you heroes. Every single one of you with a mission, every single one of you with a goal, a plan. You've had your fun. It was grand. You got cool stuff. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to get back on the job. You turn and ride your horses off toward Morgur's Mound, with the remains of Luskan behind you. And that is where we will drop the curtain on this evening. It's a good spot, plus I know somebody's got to go. So, we're going to go fairly soon.
I don't anymore.
Okay, well,
I don't anymore.
That's okay. We timed it. We timed it for here anyway. So, and yes, that was absolutely. You don't steal horses because if you let them go, they go home. So you only ever borrow horses. I was wondering if Oedicus was going to make that connection, but instead you went, "I'm not going to steal them. You do it."
Give it to the guy who has no morals.
We found out how Oedicus works. Yeah.
It's vicarious, so it doesn't count.
That's right. Just
and it wasn't stealing if there's fire.
Yes. You got to get out. Yeah. And like I said,
we're saving them.
And like I said, horses go home.
There's a quote. It's not stealing if there's fire.
Yeah.
Look, I asked God for a bicycle, but I know God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bicycle and I asked for forgiveness.
Okay, good. There. Now we'll get letters. At him, not me. That's all I'm going to say.
Please do.
He likes the communication. But thank you
I do.
to everybody.
I get so lonely.
Oh, this was so much fun. We're cramming more into less and less time. I think every game this week was 90 minutes, which is really, I'm starting to like this because you just pile it in and you get one really good sort of experience and then you get out. So we're going to think on this. But let's do the thank yous. First of all, I want to thank Sarah for playing Oedicus. This was a very Oedicus light episode. You hardly got to do much of anything, and I always appreciate the players when that happens to their characters. You didn't try and butt in or get your character into a scene, that sort of thing. I appreciate that very, very much. So thank you so much for sort of being part of the background this evening. I hope we paid you off a little bit with the scenes we managed to do. Thank you.
I just have fun hanging out with y'all, so.
Oh, isn't that the truth, right? I mean, even if we didn't play, this would be fun. But if we didn't play, we wouldn't stream it. It would be weird. But next, Scarred Adventurer. Oh, man. I know you're busy. I know you've been unwell. But it was like Zoltus was never gone. He's just there. He's just this force of nature. You keep trying to figure out, what can and can't he do anymore. But thank you very, very much for playing a very different twist on a dark character. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I mean, he's physically dark. I don't know
yes.
the rest of it.
Yeah, but he wears a mask. So. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what he and Alan and all of that means. We'll figure it out as we go along. But thank you very much for bringing
what was
all
his
this.
name? Tony? Tony doesn't exist.
No, no, there is no Tony.
He did that for the sake of just, no, look, it's Tony.
Oh yeah. I figured that. I'd have forgot him
I'm
anyway.
sorry, my brain went to total recall. I'm not a tumor.
See, I was thinking he was naming individual tentacles. This is Tony, and this one over here is Steve. We got Jimmy the Knife.
Look, this one is lovely. This one's Lucy.
Cheryl. I don't know why she's here. But this is Cheryl.
This bastard over here. This one's me.
yeah. She's a little shriveled one in the middle. But anyway.
Oh no, and like it grows teeth and just barks at people for no good reason.
Yeah. Pointlessly and without power, but barking loudly.
Like, Chihuahua-ish.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Cheryl's just there. Sometimes she just shows up.
Yeah. And when she gets drunk, she calls herself Karen and does
Cheryl's
stupid
not
shit.
really asked for. Yeah, like we said, we don't know why she's here.
We should probably keep going with thank yous.
Okay, move along. Okay, here we go. Bison, thank you so much for Bigfred, this big galoot. I didn't get you into Luskin tonight. I kind of thought about it, but no, I want Luskin to go away, so it's going away. You guys got to do your shop, but I need that city to disappear for reasons. But thank you so much.
It kind of was on its way there anyways.
Yes.
So.
Well, I know, and the reason I thank you is because I know you did a lot of research this week, and I know you learned a lot of lore about Luskin, and I just burned it to the ground. So I appreciate the effort.
Honestly, it's not the first time. It's happened 3 times from what I read.
Generally, what that means is I didn't read it, or in this case, I read it, but I didn't feel like looking it up, so I just burned it down. But there is other reasons, but that was for the joke purposes. But thank you so much for bringing this really interesting character. They keep seeming so very, very simple, but they're not, and they keep caring more and more and more, and that's what's making them really interesting to me. You're just giving me hooks. Anytime I want you to go somewhere, all I gotta do is wait till you look at the Grand Cool Idol, and it's like, oh, plot hook. So I thank you. I appreciate it very much.
I love doing it. It's fun.
It's a joy playing with all of you. Oh, Solar Dasher. Oh, it was worth the wait. I love Beowulf. Just the unfazed, just like, except when he's got to go and scream at nature for a couple minutes to get back under control. Beowulf is just this, this bastion of solidity. But what I've noticed is they've learned to go with the flow a little bit. And I love this character growth. But thank you so much for playing them.
Not a problem. I enjoy it.
And giving you guys one more week to recover. Next week, hopefully, you guys will all be completely back to full nergies. I appreciate you coming back and playing with us. But I saved Ruth for last because we started with you and we're going to end with you because I like the bookmark. Plus, I want to say thank you again. There are a lot of great actors in this Discord and in all these games, and we keep getting these amazing scenes. This game is no exception. There's been any number of them. But I want to thank you again for the first part of tonight. I absolutely, categorically threw you under the bus over and over and over again, and every single time you popped up behind the bus with a story. And it wasn't a test, but you passed with flying colors. I love the way you play. I love the way your mind works. I love that creativity. And what I love most of all is the confidence. Because I watched you go, I can't do this. So wait a minute, I've got an idea. And it was a joy to watch. And it was a joy to watch you just get more and more confident the more of your story you told. It's a great lesson here. Don't let your dungeon master tell the whole story. It's your character. Tell it. And we gave you that opportunity tonight, and I am absolutely overjoyed with what you did with it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had a really good time. And it was just a really fun experience overall. I enjoyed it. Was fun taking the reins a bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, like yeah.
I'm watching you processing because you got a week now to think of what all this means to Kane, right? So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kane shows up next week. And tonight I told you what the next page in that book was. From now on, I might do some of them, but I want you have the power now to tell me as the story keeper at any moment, this is the emotion I want back next. And we'll work it into the story and we'll get it to you, and then you can rebuild this emotional character from the inside out at your pace and with the emotions that you want to do it in the order of. So that's me trying to pay you back for that great scene you did tonight. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I gotta move on though. Chat. As always, wonderful, marvelous. I'm seeing some folks in here we haven't seen in a while, so thank you for that. Thank you for the comments. Yes, like Hellhound says, never be afraid to take the reins. And don't even worry about giving them back. I'll just tell you when we got to go until next week. But yes, always, it's your story. It's not mine. I'm the background. I'm the plot. I'm not the story. That's you guys. So we'll get back to that next week. But thank you very, very much to chat. And thank you also to the folks in YouTube watching this in the future. If you watched all the way to here, please hit the like button and hit that little bell too, because I am notoriously bad at posting stuff at random intervals on YouTube and then not reminding anybody that I did it. So the only real way to know that I did it is to click that bell. So, I don't think I've ever done this before, but if you're there and if you're impressed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Why not? I'd appreciate it. But
I have one.
yes.
I have one that you seem to skip over
Oh.
every single time.
Oh, who could that be?
So I'll do it. I'd like to thank the person who has brought us all together and who has made this happen every week or whenever we can make it work.
Weekish.
Kevin, our dungeon master,
Yes.
who
Agreed.
brings us through this really cool story and just who makes it happen. Thank you so much.
We
I
really don't say
I
enough
love
of him, though.
coming here every week, or like I said, whenever it works out, and being in this world that you evolve every session. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am honored to have you as players. Thank you. I appreciate that more than you can imagine. Thank you. So with that, somebody was nice to me, so it was a great setup. It was a great segue. Until next week, please be nice to each other. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.